This show features adults using adult language. Falcon!
Geekquinox. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Geekquinox on the Two Hillbillies Play channel. I am Ji-Et-Toh, and I am joined, as always, with the best hillbilly ever,
Don motherfucking Bronson.
And we got our two guests who've been here with us for a while. We got Brandon, aka Black Moses.
I'm a hillbilly too. How are you?
And we got Ben, aka Blitzstar.
Cajun country.
All right. So last episode we did Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and a whole bunch of other stuff that wasn't planned. So
it's kind of hard to stay on topic when there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, so we're gonna jump right into Thor Ragnarok, July 28th, 2017.
Expected.
The end of all is coming.
Oh man.
So, for those who don't know, Ragnarok
is the war of the gods.
Yes, it's the end of all things, pretty much, in Norse mythology. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I mean, like, anybody that knows anything about Norse mythology knows what Ragnarok is.
Which is very cool that they tie, it is a very prevalent thing in the actual mythology and in the comics.
It runs line and line.
Being a comic book person, like, I know what the fuck Ragnarok is. And this is fucking gonna be awesome.
Yes. So it's very interesting because there's so many things that could come into play on this. The number one, the most obvious one being Surtur. The fire demon, what was it, Niflheim or Niflheim, however they say
it.
And
if Amon doesn't make a fucking song for this shit.
That would be actually very cool.
Dude,
we haven't got into music, but for those, I mean, we'll go ahead and plug them real quick.
Yeah,
Amon
Amarth is a, like, oh man, they're such a good fucking band.
It's a band, but they do so many things. All they do is
Viking mythology.
Yeah.
That's all they do. Norse mythology, that's all they do. They sing about that shit.
Just so you know, to give you a heads up, it's very heavy. it's. I mean, you got to be into the music to like it, but...
Amarth,
and you look them up on YouTube.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Surtur Rising.
Surtur Rising, yes.
Fire.
Yeah, I mean, it's good
Pretty good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Jams. You like medals?
But,
Viking
so
medals.
back to the movie, though. I expect Surtur to have a high role in this. Fenrir, I'm hoping makes an appearance.
I feel that Fenrir is going to have to be somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, if they're
prevalent.
Like I said, we've discussed this before. Marvel does not, by any means, have to stick to the continuity of the comic books. They don't. I mean, they don't, and they make it work. But they're stuck
to the continuity of the Norse mythology.
Well, they stick to a lot of points. They'll take a certain point and kind of run with it. They might turn it into whatever, but they follow general guidelines of the comics, and that's why it's so good.
The fact that Ragnarok, that it's going to have something to do with Surtur is huge.
Yeah. I mean, the Surtur's, he's the baddest of the bad. I mean, he's as a big bad fire demon, and he wants nothing more than to burn everything to the ground. One of the spoilers we kind of talked about, another thing that we're expecting to make an appearance, we hope for, we're wanting to see, Beta Ray Bill.
Yes.
There was a lot of Easter eggs, spoiler alert, and the first Guardian of the Galaxy movie,
which I missed.
That some people may or may not have missed. That it's even some people say that that's not Beta Ray Bill. That's not. It's either Beta Ray Bill or some of his rays. It's kind of thrown around in random spots throughout the movie, and I think that he's a very key part in as far as Thor's storyline goes.
Yeah.
I think you will definitely see him, at least hear his name.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the movie. It has to happen.
And
soon. It has to happen soon.
And let's kind of do a little backstory for those, not everybody reads the comic stuff. Not everybody knows Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill was he's created, essentially, by a certain race of creatures to protect them. Their planet, I believe, was like destroyed or something. They're out on a spaceship, and they're all in like some kind of cryo sleep or something. They're out, and Beta Ray is their protector while they're trying to find a new home world or something. And they're attacked, and Beta Ray goes to town. I do believe it was Surtur. And he's beating ass. I mean, you know, and then Thor shows up, and Beta Ray's in just full I protect anything from anything mode, and Thor shows up, I mean, not necessarily trying to jack with him. Beta Ray just says, "What's up?" and starts beating his ass. And, you know, he picks up Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, and bitch slaps Thor with his own hammer, you know, so, Beta Ray being a worthy person and everything, after it's all said and done, you know, they become buddies. Odin has the dwarves commission a hammer just for Beta Ray called Stormbreaker. You know, and Beta Ray does his own thing, but he's always there to have Thor's back. You know, so that's just like a Cliff Notes version, if you will. You know, just a real quick, just kind of sum it up. That's what he is.
Him and Hulk.
So I'm
a lot of cool stuff about Beta Ray Bill.
So I'm looking at a picture in the Guardians of the Galaxy of the so-called Beta Ray Bill. And, I mean, it looks like somebody that has a cape on that's kind of bent over in a corner, but, like, how do people say this is Beta Ray Bill? I mean, it's really hard to tell.
It's probably just mentioned, and a lot of times it has stuff to do with Easter eggs, because in, you know, some of the cutscenes, stuff like that, you see pictures of Beta Ray Bill on some walls, on some murals and stuff like that. Or not, maybe not so much Beta Ray Bill, but some of that race.
That race, yeah.
It that has a lot to do with it. So people are expecting Beta Ray Bill because he's not like a all-star important character,
right?
But for as far as Thor goes,
So as Thor goes, he's important. Yeah, people know who he is, but.
If you like Hulk, if you like Thor, you've heard of Beta Ray Bill.
And if you look at something too, like the way they set up at the end of the second Thor, you know, they show it's actually Loki sitting on the throne pretending to be the king and things like that. And as far as comics and everything go, Loki has an extremely important part to play in Ragnarok and getting everything started and stuff. Which for the movie verse, how I think this is kind of going to go is Loki's like, I'm the king, they don't know it, blah, blah, and he's going to be like, oh shit, fire demons, everybody's destroying everything, I'm not going to be here anymore. I think this is going to be the movie where they kind of make Loki the good guy.
Loki, to me, has never been a bad guy. You know, like, when I read about Loki, like, he's a trickster, yes. Yeah. He's a self...
He's scarred.
He started as the trickster god, but he has been also called the god of evil too. I mean, he went to some deep dark places there for a time and done some really bad shit. I mean,
to me, he's like not so much like an anti-hero, but he's the kind of guy who knows when the line has been crossed.
Exactly,
and you can see that in tons of times when he goes back and helps Thor.
It seems more like if he's the one that crosses the line, it's okay. If it's somebody else, like, oh wait, I don't know about that.
I mean, he's really scarred.
Well, he knows his humanity.
He's really scarred because he found out that he's
a little frost giant.
That he's a frost
giant. Boo-boo. Bruce Wayne lost his parents still 30 years later.
And he's very jealous of Thor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's like part. The big one.
Even Odin favoring him, that would be...
But Thor seems to be able to, like, you know, like, talk some sense into him sometimes when he needs to.
I think that's still that brotherly... compassion.
Yeah, it's awesome how Thor's never given up on him. You know, Thor's always wanted to see his redemption.
But that's the thing, though. It's not so much as it's Loki. It's like, you know, you can like, all right, chance 1, cool, all right, whatever, we're still brothers. Chance 2, yeah, you're still my brother. At some point, you're like, you're a fucking dick, and I'm done. You know, and Loki gets that way to me in the comics and everything. It's to the point, it's like the dude is bad.
But you see, that's why you will never be able to pick up Mjolnir.
Right, very true. But you know, for the Marvel and generally, I don't want to really see Loki as the good guy. I enjoy him being the bad guy. Tom Hiddleston is Loki. By the way,
great.
If you want to follow Norse mythology, Loki is the fucking bad guy.
He is.
He is. God.
Yes, he is. And but it's just like movie wise in this universe, for some reason I see that happening. I see him becoming a good guy, at least just for a one-off for this movie, perhaps, because like
Well, he
when
always,
shit hits the fan and that means there's fixing to be nothing left.
He does.
Even bad guys will
Loki
be good.
always does what's best for him,
Right.
and that's why I say he's not a bad guy. Is because that he's gonna do what's always best for him.
Yeah,
if something
that's true.
includes survival for a planet, he'll do that. You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's gonna do what's best for him.
I mean, he wants revenge on his brother, right? I mean,
Well, he wants to one up, and he wants to
exactly.
he wants to show, hey, why'd you pick him? I'm
I
not
don't
so
think he
bad.
If
wants
someone's going to get in his way of that, he's going to be against the grain.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to like kill his brother. I think he
No.
always wants to just put him in check.
Humiliate him.
Humiliate
He
him.
wants to make he wants to make sure that
He wants to make him feel
he
the
doesn't
same
want
way
him
he
to die
feels.
because he wants him to be there.
I think
to
ultimately
win
Rub it in
his-
his face.
Ultimately, he's
yeah.
wanting to prove himself to his brother.
Yeah, you can look at
the
it
only
that
way
way.
to do that
Yeah.
is to one
Best him, you know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
If you know,
however he does it, it might be the wrong way to do it, but to him, it's
If
doing
it's
it.
either bringing Hulk to
Right.
and controlling Hulk and making him fight Thor.
you see that they've kept that theme in all the movies, the Avengers.
Yeah.
The Avenger movie, and then the other two Thor movies. I mean, he's not necessarily evil, even though he was the.
Well, I
bad
mean,
guy.
I don't know. The dude like ripped out eyeballs and like bitch slapped people with his staff and
Yeah,
like
that's
kneel
bad.
like
He's
dogs
not
and
a-
stuff. He's not. There's no mixing this up with he might be anti-hero. No, Loki, like you said, somebody hit her. Loki does what Loki needs to do for Loki.
He
All
does.
right, you know, and that's about it. It's
He's a self-serving person. That's
Loki
all it
would
is.
kill an Avenger in a heartbeat.
He would.
You know, I
He
mean,
they wouldn't think twice
He
about
tried.
it.
yeah, yeah. So
you know the actor that plays
Tom Hiddleston,
Loki,
yeah, he's.
like I've never seen him before, never. I mean,
To be honest, I don't. I might have
recall
seen
what
him, but
he's-
I do not recall seeing him before that. And
I mean, what else has he played in?
Not that
I
I
don't
know
know.
off the top
I'd
of my
have to
head.
be-
I don't know.
yeah.
Do I think he's a good casting call
Hell
for Loki?
I mean, he does a good
I wouldn't
job.
know at first without
just
seeing him
like,
before, but I think he does. He does do a good.
I mean,
job.
it's just
Have
weird
you ever
seeing
seen
somebody
the-
that you've never seen before playing such a
You
good
want to
role?
know a guy that's commanding and can own a room and stuff? Hall H at the Comic Con in San Diego or whatever. You know, that's where Marvel does all their press conferences and everything. It's a big ordeal. And years ago, when he came out and he said, you know, he was like, oh shit, what did he say? He said the lines from the Avengers movie, you know, like, I look like a jackass. I can't remember right now. It's probably because I've been drinking. But, I mean, when he come out and he read those lines, he's like, oh yeah, he's like doing the I'm burdened with glorious purpose, or what, I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened, you know, whatever. Like, the room just blew apart, you know, like, and this is the bad guy getting that kind of response. You know what I mean? So,
Well, Loki's a big deal even in Norse mythology.
yeah, I mean, but most people don't relate that to Norse mythology. You know, when you talk about Loki, I would say there's more people that realize that he's a comic book character than they do.
Than they
Well,
do.
especially
I
now,
don't know,
especially
man.
now. No,
Yeah.
now it's a fucking fact. There's got to be, but like even before, I would say
I would
It's
say,
50-50.
I would have to argue that Loki was more known as a Norse god than.
I would like
This-
that. I would like to test that, but it's not gonna be fair because of the way the movies have come out and everything now, and the way he's so popular. You wouldn't get as accurate results.
I
as
first heard
before.
about him through Marvel.
Yeah.
So
me
I'll be
too.
honest. I just IMDb'd him, and he's in a bunch of movies, and these movies I hadn't even heard of. He was in the Deep Blue Sea, in 2011. I
Heard
mean,
of that movie,
I don't
but
know.
I don't know, that's-
Deep Blue
that's
Sea. That's
Deep Blue
something
Sea.
different.
Yeah, that's something different.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the closest thing that may have been something. Casualty. He's been in a lot of movies. He's been in Family Guy and stuff like that. But Loki in Avengers is his first major.
Oh, yeah, that's
role.
what shows him to the world.
No, I'm
you
being
know?
dead serious. Like I'm looking through.
I
here.
like the commercial they did where like it brought him out with like Mark Strong and
Oh, yeah,
all
all
the
the
other
bad
guys, like
guys.
all the bad British guys that always play a bad guy. It was very
So-
cool. But
That being said, the casting
Yeah.
call I think was accurate.
yes, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. And we don't really know who the bad guys are. Nothing's really been announced, but that's kind of what we're going on. Surtur, Fenrir,
As-
things
It's gotta
like
be
that
Surtur,
might
and-
show
When more of it
prevalence
gets
and-
announced, we'll be.
Oh yeah,
all
we'll
over
be
it.
back and we'll discuss that for sure.
Well, just basic, kind of mythology. Is Fenrir's Loki's son.
Yes, yeah.
Was supposed to bring about the cause of Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's true.
So Fenrir would have to play a major part in Ragnarok. Otherwise,
Well, he
It
doesn't
depends
have
on
to.
how. It depends
Movie
on how they
wise,
play it.
doesn't have to. And that's
Yeah,
the
oh
thing.
shit! That's
Well,
fucking retarded. if he doesn't.
That's how we feel.
Exactly,
That's how a lot of
exactly.
comic book people feel when it's like, oh, that did not happen like that.
If
Yeah.
Fenrir is the one to bring around.
See, you gotta understand. You gotta look at it like this too. You're the one that doesn't know that much about the comics and everything,
Yes.
and you've been okay with because you've even said.
But
so
I
think
know
of it
more
like,
about Norse
that's true.
mythology than the fucking.
That's true, but
the
see,
comic book.
you're saying it's okay to not know that much about the comics and still enjoy a movie because it's a good movie.
Yeah.
But see, now you're gonna say, well, they can't not do that.
Well,
Yeah, it's
All right,
So you've
yeah.
gotta be that objective to it
Yeah,
too.
I'm in the spot where like, okay, so if you see the comic books taking such a big part from Norse mythology, you would expect them to carry
stay
it
on.
all
I
the
expect
way.
them to follow it regardless, and I do think that'll happen. I'm just saying it's not a necessity.
It's not.
Is the thing.
And with that being said, I think that they won't falter because Marvel hasn't. Well, never mind. Marvel has let us down, but they haven't let us down.
yeah.
They're doing good lately,
Yeah.
and I have hopes for that.
All right. So moving on to the next topic, then.
Ooh, I got one quick thing about Thor Ragnarok though. Just quick glaring contradiction. How can you expect to have a sequel with Thor or anybody in it when this is about the end of the world? This
Well,
like
you have
Well,
this-
that's the last Thor
Age of
standalone title.
Well,
that's what you have.
That was meant to be kind of
You
more
have
of a joke,
Age of
but-
Ultron hitting, and the world at the end of that movie is going to be wrecked.
Oh yeah. No
So there's
doubt
going to
about it.
be a lot of stuff building after that, and that's what a lot has to do. You're going to see Guardians of the Galaxy. A lot of that's not going to take place on Earth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to see a lot of these other movies that, you know,
Okay, it was more just kind of the failed
Yeah.
attempt at humor. just the premise is like, hey, we're gonna have sequels after the end of all things.
Well, the end of all Norse things, anyway. But all right. So November 3rd, 2017, the third movie after Guardians and Thor Ragnarok. Finally, the Black Panther will hit the big screen.
And we've touched on this some in previous podcasts about the casting call. Who's tried out for
Chadwick
it.
Boseman was playing Black Panther, and we didn't really talk about Andy Serkis in the Age of Ultron trailer. Looks like, and this is everybody knows this is what's going around right. Is he's anybody willing to bet money is going to bet money he's playing Claw, Ulysses Claw, who has a lot to do with the backstory of Black Panther.
Yeah.
And Black Panther's going to pop up in it. We already know Captain America: Civil War, and might pop up in one or two other ones because he's way on down the list. But to already have a character signed to this and not have him starring in his own movie for like another 2 or 3 years,
That's a big deal. But this
Yeah.
is also, now that he's signed on, they can. Time hasn't progressed enough where they couldn't throw him into Avengers here and there.
exactly.
They couldn't
Well,
throw him
Avengers,
into Captain
Avengers
America,
Age of
you know?
Ultron's done.
Yeah.
But Avengers Infinity War comes out directly after Black Panther.
As I was saying, there's a lot of stuff they
and
can throw
that's
him into.
where he's going to pop in a
Even
lot.
Civil War, I can see him throwing. He's, he's not prevalent in Civil
Right,
War,
right.
but he's still there in the fight. You know,
Yeah.
like he has his cause. He sides with the side. You know.
So, but here's my question. Like we discussed Black Panther showing up in these other movies and talked about what we thought about the Boseman playing it and everything. What the hell do you think the movie's going to be about? Because Marvel's already said they're not doing no origin stories. They're not going to watch. He's not going to watch his
So
dad
they're not
die
gonna go
and
about-
and take.
They're not going to go about him collecting the cow. They're probably they're going to go about how.
maybe backstory about the
That's the
Black
thing.
Panther.
They're not doing the backstory. Kevin Feige said no more backstories. He's done with it.
So he's just gonna jump in.
Yeah, jumping in. If there's going to be a backstory for Panther, it's going to be touched upon in Civil War. It's going to be touched upon in something.
Or flashback it briefly.
Right,
It's not going to be like
it's
30 minutes plus of.
You know,
So,
they're
with that
not
being
doing.
said,
they're trying to rush shit out.
It's
and
hard
get
to
more
say
heroes out there.
because
So
Black Panther is such a huge part in everything. Marvel, in my opinion.
Okay,
but
well,
for a standalone film, though, all right, look
I
at
don't
it
know
like
what they're
this.
going to do.
There's not many. Like, if we know bad guys for Iron Man, Mandarin's a bad guy. Which they fucked that up, but we'll get to that later.
well,
Whatever. Everybody's got their bad guys. Black Panther, I don't personally know many of his bad
If
guys.
the world's his bad guy. I mean,
Yeah.
well, if you look at the Captain America's shield is made out of vibranium.
Vibranium, yeah.
Bucky's arm is made out of vibranium. all this vibranium is showing up. Fucking Ultron is vibranium.
Yeah.
I mean, so if vibranium
It's
is
probably
where
gonna have a lot to do with defending vibranium.
If vibranium exists in his area,
Oh yeah, it does.
and maybe that has something to do to draw him in.
But there's got to be a bad guy though. Like who is the bad guy? Who's going in there taking the vibranium? Now they're doing Circus setting up Claw.
Yeah.
But I don't see him being the main villain for an entire movie. That's just me. But
it might be kind of a stretch, but I wonder if they would have anything to do with Hydra trying to get in there, maybe.
I don't know, because like the only people who've been.
I mean, they depicted Hydra as being a very large fucking organization.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even way after
it is.
He hasn't really had. He's had some enemies, and there
like
was
Man-Ape, but there was like other African.
That's what I'm saying, and there was that's all his enemies had to deal with.
Yeah.
African. There was one guy, Reverend. I can't remember his name right now, but he sold his soul to Mephisto, and like that has something to do with it for a while. And
God, you know what I want though. This would be the only reason I wish they'd be like, oh yeah, okay, let's be friends with Fox and get X-Men properties back. Because like I want to see Black Panther chilling on his throne and Storm, one of the baddest ass X-Men in the world,
and
like rubbing his shoulders like, you're the man, baby, you're the man. Because like,
they actually do get married.
I mean they're married in the comics and everything. They do a lot together and stuff, and it's so. That I really want to see. I know it's probably not going to happen.
Team.
Oh yeah,
like team up. By the way,
Yeah.
Storm plus Black Panther.
Well,
equals good.
Like as
Good
far
riddance.
as my knowledge goes, the only link I can see, like in these movies, is the vibranium.
They're gonna have to do. That's what I'm
If
thinking.
Black Panther has the vibranium, somebody's stealing it from him,
look at it like this.
He's funding somebody with it.
We watched the Age of Ultron trailer, right? Cap's. There's this part where they scroll up and his shield is busted and shit. It's like
it's thought impossible.
Vibranium's gonna need to, and nobody knows how to work vibranium really, except Wakanda.
Yeah.
So I think Black Panther's gonna be the reason he gets his shield put back together. I mean, so you're gonna tie him in with vibranium, but like making that the fact that you're gonna have to touch on that to get these other things done, because Cap Civil War is gonna come out after that. His shield's gonna have to be back together.
The fact that they're even
I don't think you can
vibranium,
make an entire movie around like, oh god, they're stealing it again. You don't want to wear out the subject. He's got to have a main back, and not only that. Here's the other thing. Black Panther comes out right before the next Avengers movie. And all of Marvel's movies have progressed their main story at some point. Like, everything is building to the Infinity War. That is what everything has built upon.
If Ultron is as badass as you guys say he is,
and
he's made out of and he's made out of vibranium. I mean, who else would?
I'm not gonna say that they're made out of
vibranium
in this
anything about fucking Ultron except for Black Panther?
Well,
and there's no guarantee he's made out of vibranium.
There's not in this series.
In the comics, he ends up getting it, but
he does, and that's the part of it right now because we don't know, especially with
I'm just like spitballing it because like it's not like they're known for following like exact like
and that's a lot to do with its
structure. So I'm just saying like vibranium is. It seems like to be something...
And that has a lot to do with Ultron in general, is we don't know where he's at Ultron-wise because of, Pym's not in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hank Pym's not in there right now, so we don't know what era of Ultron we're dealing with here. We're not dealing with...
come before that, right?
Yeah, which version of Ultron we...
Ant-Man comes after Ultron. That's the problem.
Yeah, that was the big problem.
So, Black Panther, I'm expecting either something, as you said, dealing with Hydra, Vibranium, having to link it back, defending his country, getting accepted into the Avengers.
Don't get me wrong. I'm excited about it, but I just don't know enough about it. Like, I'm excited because they haven't showed me something to take me out of my.
They probably don't even know exactly what they're doing.
I love that's the thing. That's the thing where I think though, Marvel's got a plan.
Yeah.
Marvel fucking
all this
knows.
stuff is probably been storyboarded.
Yeah, Marvel knows what they're doing. Like they've got that plan. We don't know that plan, but they damn sure know it.
I think it'd be kind of neat. Yeah, dealing with Hydra, them Hydra trying to find Red Skull. They left even though comic book people
has
know
anybody
been a lot
been
of stuff
watching Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No. but
I've seen a few.
There are a lot.
episodes.
I've seen a few like right when it started, but which I will catch up on, and we can discuss more. Make it more relevant.
I'm gonna start watching.
Yeah.
It too.
I think it has a lot.
I have heard a lot of talk
seen-
about Red Skull making a return.
and he does.
Yeah, because Hydra's that's
Scroll,
big-
Red
But
Skull,
the thing is,
Scroll, all that's gonna make a
it
comeback.
was
It
one
has
of the
to.
castings in one of the other movies. Might go back to Civil War, Cap Civil War. Like there's a person casting, and they don't know who he's playing or something, and they said, well, maybe he's Red Skull. Because Hugo
Weaving has to be Red Skull.
No, he's not going to be. I guarantee you he's not, because Hugo Weaving actually came out and was very clear and said, I'm done. I don't want to do it no more. I don't know the reasons why. I don't know if he got butthurt by somebody on set or whatever. If he just likes doing his own thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Hugo Weaving, he's the man as far as I'm concerned. I love him. V for Vendetta,
The Matrix,
The Matrix, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
I mean,
Rings.
he's everything
Everything.
awesome. And it really sucked that he didn't want to come back if they were going to do that. But I just don't see him coming back. But that doesn't mean that Red Skull has to be done. So that's another possibility too of him popping up.
Yeah, because everyone, he in the comics and I've seen the cartoons of Spider-Man where Red Skull has come back, but it would be neat if Hydra was trying to bring back Red Skull. They found him, and Captain America after the Civil War, either Steve Rogers or if they decide to kill him and Bucky, brings it up if Captain America and Black Panther have to team up together to stop Hydra and Red Skull. That might be pretty cool.
Cap is one of the few people that Black Panther kind of accepts and is okay with, when things like really start out, because Black Panther's like, you stay the hell out of my country, you don't mess with my people, I don't mess with you. Cap's one of the few people that he's like,
that's why he would.
I'll talk to you, you'll be my friend, kind of thing, or whatever.
So does Black Panther dress like a
Panther?
Batman?
A Black Panther.
He's very Batman-ish.
dresses like-
Yeah.
Imagine Batman in full black instead of that weird gray piece in the middle without the symbol, just blacked out without the cape.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Claws.
It's just
Like
a straight
he has like
spandex
claws out of
suit with
vibranium
some
claws. I
little
mean, you
ears.
guys-
Yeah.
He's super awesome. Has a bunch of gadgets and stuff like that too. So,
Okay, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Next episode will conclude our. So it might run a little long, but we are gonna cover both the Avengers: Infinity Wars, the new Captain Marvel movie, and the Inhumans. That's gonna be all wrapped in on the next episode. So.
I hope Forrest Gump gets invited to the Black Panther party.
Way to plug another movie. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I ruined your
flies like a ball.
That's very good. That was
know
good.
what you gonna get.
All right, so all that coming in the next episode. You guys stay tuned. We appreciate y'all viewing. Like I said, stay tuned for some of the other things we got coming out, and check out some of the things we already got uploaded. This is Ji-Et-Toh.
This is Don Bronson.
We got Ben Bloodstar.
Black Panther, Black Moses.
All right, see you guys later.
Finish him.